Success isn't luck, it's mindset, beliefs, and long-term focus. What do you think about when you think about money? Pop in the chat. What do you guys think about when you think about money? Scarcity or opportunity? Spending or control? The next paycheck or the next generation? The Vanderbilts made billions with a B, but lost it all. The Rockefellers built billions and still control their wealth 6 generations later. I don't know about you, but that's pretty impressive to me. Same country, same economy, different mindset. And so the wealthy don't chase money. They build systems to make money work for them. They think in decades, long term, not in days. And the wealthy don't chase money. And this choice is yours. So will you think like a Vanderbilt or a Rockefeller? Let's break the cycle starting now. So it all comes down to mindset. The wealthy think about wealth constantly. They focus on abundance, on opportunity, and growth. They use their money for a tool as leverage for control and impact. They invest in systems and assets and knowledge that compound over time. Again, long-term thinking. Not short-term, not day-to-day, long-term thinking. The poor think about lack, limitation. I can't do this. I can't afford that. They focus on risk, fear, failure. There's only 2 types of failure, right? The fear, or 2 types of fear, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection. They see money as scarce, as hard to get, and easy to lose. They trade time for money instead of learning how to make money work for them. And this is a powerful difference. It's all between our ears. You know, as Warren Buffett's rule says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die or graduate, or however you look at leaving this great existence that we have. The rich get richer because they focus on control and growth. They focus on what's possible. The poor stay poor because they focus on lack and survival. It's almost like a sickness. It's like thinking that I can't do this versus what can I do? And your thoughts, they dictate that reality. If you constantly dwell on the problems, the limitations, and the fear, that's exactly what you're going to attract. It's not even what you're going to attract. Your RAS, your reticulating activating system, is going to go find the things that you're afraid of. If you shift your focus to opportunity, growth, and abundance, your actions, your habits, and your results, they're going to follow. And this isn't a philosophy. It's a proven strategy. There are hundreds of research articles, books, and things where you can find the simple fact that I'm talking about today. In historical context, the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts, they show drastic difference between thinking wealthy and long-term thinking versus thinking short-term and feeling like your money is a God-given right. I don't even know how to describe what the Vanderbilts must have thought. They were entitled. They were entitled. They thought, oh, I can build this thing, and now I am going to live like a god. So let's dive into the Vanderbilt's mentality. Fast money, fast lifestyle, fast collapse. Some of you are probably going to say fast women, but I'm not going to say that here. So Cornelius Vanderbilt, the father of this legacy, built $100 million fortune in the 1800s. That's worth $2.5 billion today. Yet by the 1970s, the family was completely broke. Why? You guys pop it in the chat. Why is he completely broke? Because he had no wealth system. They had money, but they had no structure to control and preserve it. They weren't focused on long term. Their ego, right? Ego is enemy, like Ryan Holiday has on his arm, and materialism. They spent money on mansions. They bought up a lot of New York City. They had lavish parties and extravagance. They wanted to be seen. They wanted to look like they were wealthy. They want to look like they were rich, but they weren't wealthy. They had no financial education. Each generation inherited the money, but never learned how to grow it. They didn't learn how to value it. And they lacked that long-term thinking. They saw wealth as a privilege, not as a responsibility. So the Vanderbilts, they thought like consumers. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like our debt problem with our credit card debts being higher than they've ever been? Does that sound like our collected amount of debt we have with our school debt, with our school loans? That is the US's biggest asset right now is student loan debt. They spent money instead of making it work for them. They believed that wealth was something to be enjoyed, not something to be a steward of. When you have a thought like this, like a Vanderbilt, like a consumer, be honest with yourself because that's where all the progress starts is being honest with yourself. Right? So pop that in the chat. We're only stewards. Exactly, John. So the Rockefeller mentality is about systems. Sound familiar? Education and stewardship. John D. Rockefeller, whether you like him or not, did things differently. He didn't just make money. He had a financial ecosystem and he kept growing it for generations. Structured wealth, created trust, foundations, and a family banking system, which is what we talk about every week here, the infinite banking concept, the foundation for all of this generational wealth creation. He had financial discipline. Every Rockefeller learned how money works, not just how to spend it, they learned how to be stewards of it. Ownership and control. They wouldn't hand over money to the banks or the government if they didn't have to. They found a way to make sure that the money was staying in the family. And they had that long-term thinking, the long-range thinking, as R. Nelson talks about. Money wasn't just for them, it was for their children, their grandchildren, and beyond. The Rockefeller rule, guys might want to write this one down, think in generations, not paychecks. Think in generations, not paychecks. They understood that wealth is a process, not a prize. They created a system where money would continue working for the family long after they were gone. So you guys recognize that as a more abundant thought, put yes in the chat. And if you're new here, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because as my boy Connor likes to say, it might just turn orange and alert you to all new content. Spread the IBC message. Everyone deserves an invitation to the Infinite Banking Bus. Bring your friends, bring your family. They're all going to think you're crazy, but bring them on our Infinite Banking Bus. It's a good ride, right? Let's keep going. If you want to build a financial legacy, you need to break free from short-term survival thinking. This is the paradigm shift. This is the riding the backwards bicycle. This is the piece that is more valuable than anything and why we focus so much in this webinar on this real estate right between our ears, folks. Point between your ears. This is your most valuable real estate. I don't care if you own 1 door, 20 doors, 100 doors, no doors. This real estate is your most valuable. So create a banking system you control. Keep the wealth inside of your family, your ecosystem. Educate your heirs on financial stewardship. Teach them how money works. Teach them how to talk about money. Teach them how to say, I love money and money loves me, not just how to spend it. Leverage life insurance as a legacy tool. This is how the wealthy legally transfer wealth tax-free. A tax-free estate is what everyone wants, not a taxable mess in probate. Remember Warren Buffett's advice. If the poor just did what the rich do, they wouldn't be what? They wouldn't be poor anymore, right? The biggest mistake that people make is believing that they don't have enough money to start thinking like the wealthy. First, we have to be, then we can do and have. We don't do, have, and then be. That's backwards. You don't need to be a billionaire. You don't need to be a Warren Buffett or a Vanderbilt or a Rockefeller. You just need the system. You need a system in what? Put in the chat. You need a system and what? A belief. A belief. And guess what? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You guys aren't handing me money, and I'm not promising that you're going to be wealthy all of a sudden. This is based in simple laws, laws of nature. So let's dive in and look at some of these laws, right? Let's look at some of these laws. The laws of a wealthy psychology. I love it, Sandra. The laws of a wealthy psychology. What does that look like? The law of substitution. You must replace negative, scarcity based thoughts with positive, wealth focused thoughts. You cannot think about failure and success at the same time. You can't hold two opposing thoughts at the same time. This is why gratitude is so powerful. When we're grateful, when we come out of our heads and go into our hearts, everything's possible. Everything's about love, folks. Everything's about spreading the love, loving ourselves more, loving our families first, and then loving our neighbors. We talk about that all the time. And so this law of substitution is a powerful one. When you catch yourself saying something negative, when you hear yourself saying, I can't, laugh at yourself. We're silly. Hey, that's a funny thing to say. I wonder why I'm saying I can't afford that. Patty showed me these beautiful earrings, beautiful necklace the other day that she wants. She look how pretty they are. They're rose gold and diamonds. I was like, cool. When do you want them by? And then we're going to make a plan on how can we get there. In the past, I would have taken all that stress on, thinking, oh my God, my beautiful wife wants these amazing earrings and I can't afford to give them to her. What am I going to do? You guys, you recognize that thought? We hear our queens, the ones we love the most, our family members telling us they want something and wanting to provide, protect, and create for them. We instantly have an internal stress, a rule. And that's the rule I want you guys to recognize. So again, it comes back to our beliefs. So let's keep going. The law of concentration. What you focus on expands. If you focus on an opportunity, leverage, and impact, your mind will begin working towards those things. If you tell yourselves that you're going to be wealthy every day, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am giving, I will find a way. After time, you're going to focus on that and your focus expands. Again, our mind only focuses on what we tell it to. And so then the law of the subconscious activity, this goes back to our beliefs, but your subconscious mind directs your actions. When you consistently focus on solution-centered thinking, you begin to attract the right people, ideas, and opportunities into your life. I call this find the win. Find the win. So some questions for you guys. Are you thinking about money like a Rockefeller or a Vanderbilt? Pop in the chat. Sandra, Alejandro, Chris, how are you guys thinking about money? Like a Rockefeller, like everything's possible, we're building systems and processes and we have this big plan, or like a Vanderbilt, I can't wait to make this much money so I can buy this and do this and spend the money and I'm going to go buy for everybody. Are you respecting money or are you looking at it like a consumer? That's my question. Is it based on materialism or is it based on long-term impact on your family? John says Rockefeller. I like that. I like that. See, you have coolness when you can say stuff like that. So let's move on, guys. We talked about a lot about this last week, but most people never have serious conversations about money with their family. And just going through the simple definitions again. And again, we're going to do a lot of repetition because we get on the mat, we train, we test, we teach, train, test, teach. What is money? Money is nothing more than a tool, right? It's not a trophy. What is money? Money is a tool. It is not a trophy. It is not like, look, I made $1 million. I'm a millionaire. I'm a billionaire. No, it is, okay, I made this money. How can I go and exchange this money to make more money? Like Warren Buffett said, how can I put my money to work while I'm sleeping? And then what is wealth? It's not about possessions. It's about control, stewardship, impact. And then how do we pass down the knowledge? The Rockefellers taught every heir how to manage, invest, and grow wealth. The Vanderbilts did not. One of the things I've learned on my journey in the last 4 years is a lot of families with multi-generational wealth, they have coaches and people working with their heirs, working with their kids and their grandkids, and building systems and building education that we don't get in school. And so just know, how do we pass down the knowledge? We do it by learning and then applying by taking action and then teaching from our mistakes on how to keep more money in our family. And the Rockefellers did this. This is why there's over 150 Rockefellers living off of that fortune that was built in the 1800s. So every family, everybody here, we have to teach our kids, teach our grandkids, how do we manage the money? How do we invest money? I was just talking about my brother-in-law who's going back to Ecuador about where does he keep his money? How is he preparing for his son's future? What does that look like as he grows as a professor, right, at his university? What does it look like for him to go make passive income in Ecuador? And we have opportunities here that you don't have anywhere else in the world. So if your family doesn't understand how money works, they're going to what? They're going to end up like the Vanderbilts. They're going to spend it, they're going to lose it, and then they're going to be wonder what happened. They're probably going to point at someone and say it's their fault. It's their fault for not teaching us. It's their fault for not teaching me how to do this, because they're going to understand that something went wrong, and they're going to be in that lower vibrational fear, worry, anxiety, stress, anger, and ego, all low vibrational energies. And we go there from time to time, but the more that we're in that higher vibration of what's possible, what's love, what's how do I share this, the wealth isn't just about the money. It's about the mindset again. Again, here, it's about your education. It's about the responsibility that you shoulder by learning the stuff together that we're doing every week here. And how do we pass down this knowledge? The Rockefellers taught every era how to manage, invest, and grow the wealth. The Vanderbilts did not. Who are you more like today, and who do you want to be like in the future? That's a future question for you right there. Would you rather be a Vanderbilt, have $2.5 billion today, and have it all squandered within 100 years? Or would you want to be a Rockefeller that has interrupted the pattern in your family? That's my goal. I will be the first Sipple to carry on generational wealth. It's in the universe now. It is a fact. That will happen. Just talking to my brother-in-law again about what that looks like for all of us, what this will look like in this group. And Monica, I love that. So, need directions. You need directions. You're here. We're talking about the mindset first, believing you can do it. And if you want to build a financial legacy, right? If you want to build a financial legacy, you need to break free from the short-term survival thinking. That means break free of the day-to-day survival mode. Break free of the paycheck to paycheck mode. Stop trading just time for money. Find a way to invest in yourself first. Again, what are some of the things that we want to do? We want to create a banking system that you control. You want to keep the wealth in your family, not in someone else's family. Just follow the commandments. The first commandment, love God, heart, mind, and soul. Number two, love thy neighbor like thyself. Well, keep the wealth in your neighborhood and your family before you give it out to your neighbors. Educate your heirs on their financial stewardship. Teach them how money works, not just how to spend it. Leverage life insurance as a legacy tool. This is how the wealthy are transferring their wealth tax-free again. So again, remember Warren Buffett's advice. We do this in our 90-minute presentation. If the poor just did what the rich do, they wouldn't be poor anymore. They wouldn't be poor anymore. So your choice, you're going to be a Rockefeller or a Vanderbilt. Your choice, and you always have a choice, scarcity or abundance. I can't versus how can I? Are you going to let the money slip away? If you leave or you live paycheck to paycheck, then it's time to financially weigh in, and either you have to make more money or you have to keep more money. Wealth isn't about luck. It's about thinking long term, taking control, and teaching the next generation. Sometimes when we look at things, we could say, hey, that's expensive. Or the flip side, as my friend Jeremy says, that's expansive. Expensive or expansive. And another portion of that is, man, I'm paycheck to paycheck. I just can't see a way to make more money. Well, then what are you good at? What haven't you thought that you could do? And that doesn't really feel like work to you. Because without a plan, if you fail to plan, you are literally planning to fail. This morning, had all my stuff laid out, the bike, plan on going out the bike, plan on going to Taekwondo. I'm just sharing with you guys vulnerably. I didn't do either of those things today because I hadn't planned ahead for some of the other things that had to happen today, that I wanted to happen, my priorities today. So I failed to plan, was basically planning to fail. So take action today. Start building a financial future that outlasts you. The biggest mistake that people make is believing that they don't have enough money to start thinking like the wealthy. You guys you resonate with that? Do you resonate with that? So you don't need to be a billionaire, a millionaire. You don't need to make 500,000, 300,000, $200,000. You just need a system. You need a system of paying yourself first, of making sure that you earn more than you spend and you save this in the middle, and that builds your system. This is just a process. John says yes. Afori says yes. I love it, guys. Thank you for sharing. So we're almost to the end here. Subscribe if you're new. Smash the like button. Ring the bell to be alerted to more content helping you learn how you can take back control of your money and become your own banker. Invite others to the Infinite Banking Bus. There's plenty of room. It's a huge bus. And guess what? It's magical, so it's just going to expand. It's going to be like the bus in Harry Potter. It'll get as big as it needs to get. And I know you will be the biggest blessing to anyone that you invite and you share this information with. So remember, this is a process, a skill, and if you don't know something, give yourself permission. You just don't know it yet. You just don't know it yet. As always, thank you for giving me your most valuable asset, your time, your focus, your energy. I'm super blessed. Be blessed yourself. Keep learning. And remember, if you don't get something yet, just say, I don't get it yet. Because we don't get to, we go plant the seeds. We go plant the seeds for abundance, and we don't know necessarily when it's going to pick up and be available for us. But as long as you keep believing, you keep planting seeds, you keep taking steps, it will happen for you. So today we talked about the wealth mindset, the difference between the infamous Vanderbilt versus the very famous and very talked about today, the very relevant Rockefeller method, the waterfall method, how they built multi-generational wealth and continue it on today. And the fact is, it's not about money, it's about the mindset. You don't need to be a billionaire, you don't need to be a millionaire. You just need a system, a process, your financial foundation, which is the infinite banking process that we train and teach on every week here, and we test you by helping you get started. So if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, smash that thing, ring the bell to be alerted to new content helping you learn how you can take back control of your money and become your own banker. Invite others to the Infinite Banking Bus. There's plenty of room. It's a magical bus, and I know you will be the biggest blessing to that person that you invite. They're going to think you're crazy, but invite them anyhow. Say, hey, this is something I'm learning about or I'm doing in my life. It's changed my life. Why don't you take a look at it? It takes a paradigm shift. Come on. It's free. Come see how to do this. I'm going to see you guys in this next video over here to teach you more about infinite banking. And remember, this is a process, a skill, and if you don't know something, you just don't know it yet. As always, thank you for giving me your most valuable asset, your time, your focus, and your energy. I'm blessed. See you in the next video right up here. Be blessed. Next time.